VCR, what's your favorite scary movie?
That scream can only mean one thing. It is time for Uncensored Horror, UCR's horror podcast extraordinaire with a duo of devilishly horrendous heroes here. And today we are here to discuss a sequel in a horror movie podcast. Never. Horror
Never.
movie sequels, that's not a thing.
We would never
Ladies
do
and gentlemen, we're here for Mechanical Madness and Mayhem with a review of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It feels longer. Like the first movie feels like a long time ago, but it really wasn't that long ago, I guess.
It was not. And I had to be reminded that this movie was not in like real time. Like it's modern, but it's not modern. It's early 2000s, which seems like yesterday for me, but it's
not good. It's not good for us elder
ago.
millennials. We're already confused. We're already very confused as to what's happening in everyday life.
Everyday life.
All this time jumping is not helpful.
The walls are closing in on me. What's going on?
No. I'm going to play Vitamin C graduation song and feel good about myself.
No, just need a little pep talk. Okay.
So if you have not seen Five Nights at Freddy's 2, this is going to be spoilerific. And yeah, just be aware. I think we've given it enough of a window now that people who really, really, really want to see it have seen it. So we're not going to.
And for those frenzies in the US, it's going to be out on digital platforms the next few days. So if you are really itching to see it, but don't want to be out in public these days because it's very people-y, you'll have a chance to rent it.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be out there. And that's kind of, I guess, the upside of it all now that you don't really have to wait that long. Remember waiting a year from the movie being at the cinemas to a home video or home release?
Right. I just noticed that
Those days.
The Long Walk is now available for rental, and I will be watching that very shortly. Love us, Stephen King.
Yes, well, there's plenty of Stephen King to go around at the moment, and I think there will be for a while, judging by the success of current things. So now, as Katie said, this movie jumps around, and if you aren't I guess familiar with the lore, because there is a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's lore, and we have some notes from our resident expert, Katie's son, who has comments and feelings. Because we are training the next generation of hosts. He's ready to go.
We need a sub in case,
Maybe by the next movie he'll be like ready to go. You never know. So we're going all the way back to 1982. Before I was born. Oh. I love being able to say that. Before I was born in 1982.
Me too.
Even though it was a long time ago now. And we're at a quite familiar location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the original location, the first store, where we meet an outsider by the name of Charlotte. Now, Charlotte, these kids seem a little bit old to be at this kind of store, but yeah, we'll give the film its conceits. It's she is the typical outsider and is obsessed with the place and everything, and it is very the nostalgia vibes are high even here. Bright colors, animatronics, games, all the good stuff. Tick tick tick. But even under the bright lights and the fun times, evil lurks behind closed doors at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Charlotte witnesses a young boy being lured into the darkness. We know that good things don't happen behind those closed doors in franchise pizza and franchise film. We know that the bad things happen behind closed doors, and Charlotte has a suspicion too, even though she claims like Abby, one of our protagonists, that these creatures slash robots are her friends, she smells something wrong. And as she disappears backstage, she discovers the unconscious child and why is a robot washing its hands, first of all? What?
Well, I can answer that question for you if you would really like me to. It's not a robot. It is William Afton in his costume. So he is not.
Is he washing his robot hands?
He was not washing his robot hands. He was just washing his regular hands. He was just still partly in the costume because when he went for the children, he was in that I think it was Golden Freddy costume. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but he is in a yellow costume. So that is a William Afton going for the kid in his costume. It is the same costume that we saw him get killed in the first movie.
Right. All those pressure traps snapping shut on him. Good times. Good times for him.
Good times for him.
He got squishy. Got real squishy all of a sudden. But good news for Charlotte. She manages to abscond with the child, but not before she is pursued by William Afton and stabbed. We're stabbing kids. We're stabbing kids. It was quite atmospheric, though. The lights coming on and off, and the eyes of the suit. I think that it picks and chooses good parts of the game to jack up that tension / scare factor, because we've got to remember this is not only a movie and not only one video game. This is a whole lore that we are diving into here with excerpts of jump scares and all this kind of stuff that exists. So they pick and choose quite well. And this beginning was quite groovy, I thought.
It was, but it was not canon, apparently. Charlotte dies outside the building, according to the lore, because the children don't want her in there. And William Afton gets her out in the alley and leaves her body there. And more to that lore when we get to it where it's relevant.
So I think, well, let's talk about that change. Obviously, they wanted to highlight the suit straight up.
Yes.
Yeah, like just having Matthew Lillard wander into an alley and stab a girl is probably not the vibe to go for what is still childish friendly horror, right?
It's tween horror. Let's call it that.
It's like those it's very like teen. What are they? YA fiction is what we.
Yes.
Horror. This
is
it's the young adult moment.
I would say this is Are You Afraid of the Dark on steroids, because Are You Afraid of the Dark? Some of those could be pretty intense.
They still are, bitch.
Still good.
Yeah, we are way past the age that should be scared of it, but sometimes you put on one of those things and my skin crawls. I'm like, oh.
Yep. Like
Laughing in the Dark.
Yep, that's the one. That's exactly where I was going.
Everyone goes clown.
Yep, exactly where I was going.
Yeah, that one. There is the Nightly Neighbors always used to freak me out too about the vampires that live next door. Don't know why. I had a vampire thing. It used to scare me.
There was also the one in the theater where the guy looked like Nosferatu. He was super
scary. And he comes through the screen and everything. That's intense.
Super scary. And
the new reboot was actually quite hectic.
It was unsettling.
Those new ones, yeah. I was like, especially that first one with the carnival guy. That was intense. I was like, this is meant for kids. I'm a little bit unnerved here as an adult. And we have watched a lot of horror movies, and
we have watched a lot of horror movies. Yes, we have.
Good and bad. So the one thing that did unnerve me was the marionette. What is that thing? I mean,
so the marionette has a purpose. Let me find my notes here. The marionette was crafted by her father. That will be revealed shortly.
Yes.
So in the movie, it's referred to as a puppet, but it's the marionette in the lore. It's a security puppet that would watch over Charlotte, and the puppet ensured that Charlotte would remain safe at all times while she was in the pizzeria. And the puppet in the lore died when Charlotte died, and their souls just kind of fused together, as you see in the movie.
Okay, so the marionette was for
It protects
Vanessa.
Charlotte.
Wait, what was it? So
Nope.
was it meant to protect Vanessa, or was it meant to protect Charlotte?
Okay, spoilerific.
So yeah. Okay, continue. Yeah.
William has a business partner named Henry.
Yes. Okay, so it was a clumsy. Okay,
Yeah.
radio. Let's not spoil it. Let's not spoil it.
We're not going any further than that, but I didn't want to say his
okay.
name right away, but
It's a clumsy nod. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. If you said, this is, I think, part of the problem with this movie. Yes, it has all this lore, but it kind of picks and chooses when and how it wants to use it. And I think it makes things a little bit confused.
I think this one wanted to be more wanted to be more loyal to the gamers and the story. However, it was very clumsy going about it. I mean, we can't all have these perfect game to film adaptations. Silent Hill.
It's too hard.
Yeah,
it's too hard. Like, it is too hard when, as we said, the property is now not just the games either. It's books and comic books and all this kind of stuff that keeps building into this lore. So there's so much lore involved with just this concept that trying to do movies about it. Well, look, there's a lot to cover, but how do you cover it is the problem. Because
what's even funnier about this franchise is people have taken the lore and turned it into music. And that was
love this.
That was like the soundtrack to my summer last summer. Every time I took our little horror trainee to summer camp, he'd make me listen to it.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So as we said, Charlotte does die and falls into the pit and is held in the watchful arms of the marionette, which is very unlike every other thing there and very scary. That thing is terrifying.
That was the scariest part of this whole movie, was that
that thing. Yeah, I was like, no, I do not think so.
Nope, don't want to see it.
And of course,
thank you.
As what happens when a child is murdered at a child-based restaurant, the location is closed, but not before the great American pastime of franchisation takes over, and Freddy Fazbear's 2.0 start to pop up all over the place.
Yes, that was
the 2002. Yes, cut to 2002, and we are surviving the events of the first film. And I don't know how soon it's supposed to be after the first film, because Abby's grown up quite a bit. That's the only problem with child stars; they grow up, and I feel like she was maybe a little bit too old at this point.
Let's see.
Right.
In the first movie, yeah, okay. In the first movie, she was supposedly 10. Okay. So in the second movie, I think she said she was 11 or 12.
She's even starting to look a little bit too old for 12.
Yep. Yeah, that actor is...
The way that they're dressing her, and the way that I get that she is meant to be a little bit different, but some of the kids that she's put next to as classmates don't look the same age as her. It's hard though. Like, you want to strike while the iron is hot if you've got child protagonists, or you need to give us some feasible time. Like, she should be in like middle school, right?
12 is right before middle school. Like,
yeah, mm, I get
actually,
it.
no,
Yeah,
not every middle school, because Grayson just turned 11 and he's in 5th grade. Middle school will start next year, where he will
yeah,
be 12. So yes, he is just in middle school,
yeah. So
or
they
she
are
is.
they are
Middle.
babe. Look, they are babies when they
They're still
get thrown
babies.
to the line when they
They're still
get thrown to the
babies.
lines, but they grow up quite quickly. I just
Hmm.
she's in. I think it's in a really difficult, and part of the problem that is she is in that awkward stage and still very much a child, even after the things that happened to her. I would think that you would get a little bit more reality injected into your life
I'm trying to see how old the actress, actually
after
is.
rogue mechanics trying well, children in rogue mechanic suits try and kill you.
Yep.
You would think maybe I'm a little bit more reality based.
I would say trauma makes you grow up a little faster.
Yeah, it kind of seems to have reverted Abby though, or not even reverted her, like stunted her, I guess.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
could see that too.
which is probably understandable. It is a bit of a funny commentary on trauma, this whole thing, because we see Abby, but we also see Vanessa, who they seem to want to just go, oh, okay, you're the new protagonist. the shift from Mike to Vanessa is a little jarring in this one. I feel like Vanessa was the side character in the first one who just happens to be integral to the plot, but now we're trying to do this shift where we're like, oh no, you should care about her. She's the one you should care about. And it's a little bit of a. I feel like they sidelined Josh Hutcherson a little bit in this one.
He was definitely not as prominent as this was Abby's movie for sure. The actress who is, by the way, age appropriate and is 12 years old.
Oh, okay. She's in that awkward phase, I guess. That I'm not quite an adult phase.
Yep. She is age appropriate.
Mike is very superfluous to the plot here, whereas he got the job at Freddy's, and we were discovering it all through his eyes. And Abby, and especially Vanessa, were just little addendums to it. We're very much supposed to be addressing Vanessa's trauma here. I like that, but I kind of wish it was laid down a little bit earlier. I know that was meant to be a bit of the shock in the last film that she was William Afton's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And we go, terrible, terrible, terrifying. But I don't know whether it was. Okay, to me, it kind of feels like there should be a movie before this movie, or like a little intersection where we learn a little bit more about Vanessa. They're cramming a lot into this movie, and I think the pacing really is a problem when we get later to it, because the beginning of this, especially, I feel like we really wanted to harp on the school stuff, and it didn't really need to be there. I mean, you've got Wayne Knight, who you want to give time to be Wayne Knight as the bastardly science teacher. You want to give him a moment to shine and be his amazing self, but it could have been shorter, and then maybe we could have had some more other stuff. It just felt a little bit off to me.
There's a lot of lore that they left out. Like you said, they cherry picked, but there's a ton
maybe
of
that's what makes it feel a little bit muddled.
Probably. And I imagine with the third movie, they'll probably go in a little deeper into the Afton family. And
oh, definitely, we'll talk about that point when we get to it, because there is stuff coming, lots of stuff, because a little bit labored this beginning. I don't know that we needed a big reintroduction to the main characters. Like we don't need, like, we understand that she would still be. I liked when Mike was like, oh my god, who's talking about her at school? And then it's her just going, yeah, they tried to kill me, and then this happened, and that was fun. I liked that. I just think some of the other stuff was probably could have been cut. And but Abby is still, as we said, attached to her friends. She misses her friends, and again, she references them as, the animatronics names, Chica, etc., etc. She knows that that wasn't what was really happening, though. We all understand that there were literal ghosts in the machine, and that's who her friends were.
Yeah.
So the disassociation between the spirit that was actually her friend and the animatronics is a little confusing. But Mike has promised that he will fix them, and when she doesn't run her after an unfortunate incident at school, he finds her at Freddy's and apologizes for lying about fixing the robots. And they find a talking. Well, it's called a Faz talker. It's it's like one of those. What were they?
Speak and spells.
Speak and spell. Thank you.
Welcome. Those things are creepy.
Right? Well, yeah. Outside of Freddy's, we noticed that it is papered with flyers for FazFest because, like any good small town thing that happens, urban legends spring up, and Freddy's robots have taken a life of their own. That they have a fan festival happening, and amongst those flyers, there is one that says Freddy's is murder. Call this number to find out more. Which I enjoyed.
I enjoyed who was at the end of that number.
Yes, well, we'll get there.
And
then we have another shift. For me, maybe this, again, a lot of ideas, and this is kind of where it forces. We find paranormal investigators, Lisa, Alex, and Rob, who have their own web series, successful web series by the looks of their cameras. Congratulations to you guys that you can afford those. They visit the 1982 original flagship store, which is still randomly in existence. When the security guard Michael invites them to explore. I mean, there was something creepy about this guy from the beginning, and we will reveal it later. But good casting.
Mm-hmm.
Good casting. I can see it. I can see what you're going for there.
I understand why they had this part because it introduces someone to the audience. However, I could have done without it. I think it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it built tension, and I thought that was fun. But
I don't know that we need these.
No,
I don't know that we need these characters.
No,
I don't know that we need these characters or this intersection at all. I really like it. I thought it was something different.
It was fun, but
yeah. It's so. Of course, they split up within the restaurant, which is cool because it has a river ride. I mean, come on, that's amazing.
Have you ever been to a restaurant with a river ride?
No, and I wouldn't ever leave. I don't think.
I was gonna say I would totally go,
but you've also got to think,
day.
just to be people that have worked in those kind of restaurants. Can you imagine the poor bastards that had to clean that river?
Oh my god!
And all those kids. Oh, there'd be so much grossness in there.
It would be disgusting. The food and
detritus of children. Who knows what?
Children are disgusting. Wonderful little humans they are, but they are disgusting.
No, some of them. Some of them. So Lisa finds a music box because there's nothing more fun to find in the dark than a creepy child's music box echoing through the walls. And deactivates it, unknowingly awakening the marionette, which then possesses her. I didn't see that coming. And again, I'm not really a game kid. I know that it's a game. Well, this game kid anyway. But I didn't see the possession thing happening. But the marionette is the thing that kicks it all off at the original Freddy's again. She activates and controls the toy animatronics, which brings to life her fuzzy little friends, and they kill Alex and Rob. which I like. It was good. It was good to see them alive and scary. Those little baby
Balloon
marionettes
boys.
Oh, okay. Sorry. There we go. Plopping off into the water.
Terrible.
That was that was a good scene though. It was, see, as not needed as this was,
that might not have
it
been
did have
Balloon
some
Boy.
good content / scares.
That might not have been Balloon Boy, but he's in there and he's creepy. But the marionettes are creepy too. They're all creepy. The animatronics aren't that creepy, but
when they get murderous, they're a little bit scary.
I dare say Freddy is probably the creepiest one.
Right.
As he hums through the hallways. Okay, I'm just getting into game stuff. Okay, keep going.
So Michael manages to escape. They turn even a little bit murderous against him, which is a surprise later on. When revelations come, it's a surprise that the animatronics would turn against them. But I guess that's more Charlotte, right? Because we've got to that they would go to attack Michael, given what we will not find out about him later.
Two Michaels. Which Michael are we talking about?
Michael security guard. Michael security guard, not Mike.
I'm saying they're both security guards named Mike. I get what you're saying.
Well, the current.
No, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that shocking that they would turn against him.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is Mike, Abby's Mike. Why don't the animatronics remember him? If we all went through that in the first.
Well, I think it's because they aren't, and as it says later on, they aren't the same robots.
Right.
And the ones that are at the original location are the original location robots and prototypes. Right. Okay. So they wouldn't necessarily. I'm just trying to think game logic, story logic. They wouldn't have those spirits inside of them, which is the.
Mm-hmm. No, we get
everything that happens at the original location is because of Charlotte and Charlotte's angst / anger. She is the spirit there that is pushing this whole narrative for this movie. So that could be it could be confusing for people that didn't really pay attention in the first movie to understand that each of those robots had a different spirit in them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was kind of a cool thing about it, and confusing for, I guess, Abby as well, because she knows, or she should understand, that those were kids, not those animals, but still she can't really break it up between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, muddling.
No, it is, and there's more to those animatronics, like the specific spirits behind them. They don't really touch on that in the movie, I don't think.
No. Yeah, and that's probably to the detriment of their bigger story outside of the movie. But for a movie, you've got to be able to cut and move.
Yeah,
which they do. This is where we kind of kick into gear a little bit. Abby starts receiving messages from Chica on the Faz Talker and guides her to the original site.
Can we just discuss Chica for a minute?
Yeah, go crazy.
I think that was such poor casting. I'm sorry. It took me completely out of the movie listening to Chica talk because it's Megan Fox. So
I didn't realize it was Megan Fox.
It's Megan Fox. And I knew going into it was Megan Fox. So all I can hear is it's Jennifer's body. Just hearing her talk.
Body.
And granted, I love it.
It's like Thai food and ass in here. Imagine. That should have been an in joke.
To eat you and shit out yourself. Something like that. You know what? That's a very Chica line.
Yeah.
So maybe it does work. But I didn't love her as Chica. I don't think it was very like menacing or and just I
Maybe,
didn't like
but maybe that's the point initially as well, that it can't be too menacing because we have to
right.
ingratiate Abby.
Yes, but there's also like you want to appear like disarming, but in another like turn.
Yeah,
Okay, Pennywise,
kind of
that's a
threatening.
perfect example because he's disarming, but he's also very menacing.
Mm-hmm.
That is more what I would picture for these animatronics. Something like that.
Well, look, I didn't take me out of it because I didn't know. I knew that I forgot that she was in it actually until you mentioned Megan Fox. I'm like, oh, that's right, she was in this movie. Now I know. So she doesn't have that memorable a voice for me, obviously.
Well, fair enough.
But this is where I guess we start to get the sense of foreboding from Mike and Vanessa as well, because she shows her that all of a sudden Abby becomes an animatronics genius and is able to fix her project. And Vanessa's concerned that she has been to the original site. Duh. But Mike reaches out for an answer himself to the mysterious man behind the phone number. Dun, dun, dun. Charlotte's father, Henry. Played, of course, by one and only
Daddy.
half of the husbands of horror, Skeet Ulrich. It's so off-putting to see him at least at this moment in the movie and in the franchise be wholesome.
Love him.
I mean, even in Riverdale, he was like a daddy with a bad side, but
love him.
He's aged like a fine wine, Mr. Ulrich, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. So is Matthew Lillard. But we're not talking about that right now. What we're talking about is that it is heavily implied that Henry is William Afton's business partner. And what's his last name? Henry Emily.
See, I didn't get that from this initial. Maybe I wasn't watching close enough. I didn't get that straight away.
Well, he starts talking about the animatronics.
Yeah, I know, but when something drops later on, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, I'm with you." Like it's quite literally spelt out later on, but I didn't get it from this interaction. Maybe because I wasn't paying attention that much.
The apprentice slapped me real quick and goes, "That's the business partner." So, okay, just give me a minute to meet the guy.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. We'll get there.
But he reveals something that we've all known from this point, that Charlotte was friends with Vanessa. Dun dun dun. Right. Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe Mike's reaction should have been a bit bigger to that as well.
I think Mike is just so checked out at this point.
He's just trying
to keep his sister. Yep, he's trying to keep his sister alive. He's just so done.
These fucking robots.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Right. But Vanessa then goes back to the original site. Talk about unarmed, not unarmed. She has a gun, but unaccompanied. I do not understand why she went back without reinforcements.
I mean, I don't. Why do blondes make any decisions in horror movies? They always seem to be bad ones.
You are this person's child. Come on, you got to know that.
Right, and she knew about
this shit.
And she knew about Charlotte too. So this is she knew about it all.
And the music, she knew about the music box. She does. She's the one that tells us about the music box and everything. It's like she knows what's going on.
Yep.
She's trying to appeal to Charlotte, and obviously Charlotte has become a lot more twisted in the time that Vanessa has been away.
I mean,
which isolation will do that. Yeah. Makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, at the middle school, Mr. Berg destroys the toy Chica. Oh.
Not very nice.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be his biggest mistake.
It would be. It would be. Because things don't end well for him or anyone really.
I really enjoyed his death, though.
Yeah,
it was justified.
But Abby then returns and unleashes all unholy hell as the barriers keeping the animatronics in the restaurant are broken and they're coming to town. This is also probably where there's too much story. I mean, I get that we need the idea of FazFest. I don't think we needed to go to FazFest if nothing was actually going to happen at FazFest.
No, that was just kind of a get you to point A to point B, but
just release the animatronics.
Yeah, just let it go.
And I'm guessing maybe FazFest and all of that plays out later in the storyline of the lore, etc., spreading out that
I'll have to ask
an urban legend, but
I'll have to
maybe
ask
it didn't need to be included.
If FazFest was even in like the lore.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it needed, maybe that didn't need to be included either. We could have just gone and found that flyer. Like, we could have found
it just could have been a reference.
Flyer. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. But having it to just, it implies that something is going to happen there, and we don't get that moment. We get one animatronic there, and that's it. There's no actual attacks or anything there either. It's... But Mr. Berg does get a little bit of a cool chase scene around the high school and a death.
Death. That's a good one. He deserved it.
As usual, Mike is pursuing his little sister. You would put this kid on a leash, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why they make them.
Come on. Come on. She needs one of those toddler harnesses.
And to those of you who say those are inhumane and unnecessary, I dare you to hold on to a toddler in a big crowd. Those toddlers wiggle. They let go of your hand.
They do.
They fight. There's dignity in the toddler harness. Thank you.
Yeah. So the captured Vanessa is rescued, which is good to know. By Mike, who's saving the day. That's it. He's just here to save damsels in this episode of the franchise. He's a damsel saver.
He's Peter Malark. Of course he's going to save people.
Oh, Peter. Peter.
We love him.
So Vanessa goes to stop the animatronics, and Mike stays, which doesn't really make sense. It should have been the other way around because she knew the codes to everything.
She did.
She knows everything. She knows what the inputs and all that kind of stuff. It would have made more sense for her to stay and him to go and save his sister and the town. Am I incorrect in that?
I don't think you're incorrect. I'm wondering if she thinks maybe she realizes that Charlotte is out already. And
maybe,
that she can.
So does that make her actions even more insidious that she's willing to sacrifice Mike?
Well, I don't think she really cared about Mike from the jump, gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I think she might care about Abby given what she knows her father has done to children.
Through.
But I don't really think she gives two shits about Mike. I think Mike is
maybe again we'll get more of that moving forward. That's an interesting dynamic to explore, I think, if we were going to explore things. Because we are watching not only the robots, but the prototypes now come to life, and they are attacking the parents and people present at Charlotte's death, which is kind of clumsily done.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I think that was... I get why. Because she's... in a twisted way, Charlotte is protecting these children because she thinks the parents are the bad guys. Okay. Do I think it's totally necessary? You could have probably just gone for Mike and gotten the same effect. Quite honestly. I don't think these side characters in this little side quest was necessary. It's just fluff.
Well, especially when it's revealed that Charlotte is smarter than everyone thinks because she has absconded inside of the robot Chica. The marionette is inside Chica and is able to leave and attack and possess Abby.
That was creepy. The marionette possessing people is just creepy as hell. That's just
weird.
I want to know who did the makeup on this because that was
McKenna Grace did well as when she was possessed.
She did.
But so what happened to her though? You know?
I think she's just dead.
Is she just dead now?
I think
because it doesn't kill Abby.
It doesn't kill Abby, but I think McKenna Grace is dead.
Or maybe not. Maybe we'll find out in the next.
Maybe.
In the next minute. Well, there's more. Again, there's more to be said because there's more to happen. But this is. I feel like we're starting to really force things in because, like, oh my god, we're running out of time. Go, 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 get it happening. So Mike heads back because Mike's lost. Mike doesn't know what to do, so he heads back to his Freddy Fazbear's and begs the souls of the children from the first movie to help them. And I feel like, again, when Mike's not given enough, given his relationship to especially one of these ghosts. For the people that don't know, Katie, what is I nearly said Malark. What is his relationship to Garrett, the ghost of Garrett? Right.
That's his little brother that was killed by William Afton.
So you would, and for Abby to be that linked to Chica, like I would think that Abby would be more concerned with Garrett and these things. Like does she not understand? Like that's, I think, confusing for me as well. Does she understand that these were ghosts in the machine and that was her brother and his ghost friends, or is she just that clueless that? And maybe that is part of it. Maybe he just doesn't want to go further and traumatize her more.
Maybe,
but it's not clear, and it makes it more muddled, especially when we're trying to throw more and more and more and more and more things in there.
Yeah, I don't know if she totally understands. I'm trying to think about the first movie and whether, like, I know he talked about Garrett, but I think he mostly talked about Garrett to Vanessa. I don't think he really talked about Garrett with Abby.
But that would have been a good reveal in that movie, that if she didn't know about him.
Yeah. Like, that's your brother. Yeah. That's why I'm so
we understand why those spirits then look after Abby, because Garrett sees family in her.
Right.
But Mike and Vanessa head to their house armed with a music box from Henry to lull the marionette to sleep, which then frees Abby. Traumatic.
Yeah. Gotta wonder how that felt. Like physically.
Shortly after, I know, right? Yeah. Maybe that's something to explore. Short-lived relief as Michael and all of the reactivated animatronics break into their living room, where we get, I guess, the Scooby-Doo reveal, we'll call it. The creepy, weird, off-putting guy who was the security guard at the original Fazbear's is William Afton's son.
Yep, and Vanessa's brother.
I was like, I smelt that straight away. Like,
yes.
You're giving me a little bit too much Matthew Lillard to not be Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
He's got that.
He's like very Matthew Lillard-esque.
He was like Lillard versus Skarsgård. It's like they had a little baby.
Yep. Ooh,
that's the kid.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got those Pennywise. He's got those Pennywise face as well.
Yep. He was creepy.
And he is determined to carry on Papa's legacy. And orders the death. Yeah, you are his child. I can't see. This is the thing that I think would be more interesting to give more time to, that childhood trauma and what that's done to these people.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I liked seeing Matthew Lillard again in that PTSD kind of flashbacky, haunting moment.
Well, we always like to see Matthew
being
Lillard
unable to escape him, etc., etc., etc. But then, of course, out of nowhere, it would have been probably better implied that there was something still lingering at the original restaurant, because the OG animatronics show up to fight the other animatronics, but it gets a little bit confusing, especially if you're walking in on that part of the movie. Like, why are they fighting each other? I don't understand.
Right.
But Michael manages to escape in the robot wars. Oh, remember that? That was good times. Robot wars. The souls of the animatronics then begin to fade away. So that maybe should have been given a bit more pathos as well. If your ghost brother is finally moving on to the other side, but we didn't have time at this point. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
Because they end on a big cliffhanger. A very, very, very big cliffhanger. Mike no longer trusts Vanessa. I wonder why.
I wouldn't trust her either. I mean, trust issues in general, but man, she is lie after lie after lie.
Well, they leave her alone, only to be possessed by Charlotte / the marionette. End of movie. I was like, oh, we're not even going to try and wrap this up. We are going full tilt. And I was like, there definitely has to be at least a mid-credit scene in this. And if you didn't hang around to the very end, you missed two very important pieces of information. Because in the mid-credit scene, there is a little section where before the demolition of the newer space, it's raided by people for props for an upcoming horror attraction. And they discover William Afton's corpse still trapped in the spring-locked rabbit suit.
Springtrap. That's his name.
Yes.
He's not Golden Freddy. He's Springtrap. Mobby. So this scene is basically the opening for the third game.
Duh. we are definitely world building here. Like,
yeah, this is like a parallel universe.
Quite late in the piece, we are like, okay, well, let's try and ensure ourselves a third installment, because at the very end, if you didn't hang around to the very end, you missed the voice message from Henry, Charlotte's father, Skeet Ulrich, revealing that he was William Afton's former business partner and co-creator of the animatronics, before warning that he was about to be killed by the marionette, which I question. Now, you said there is more lore here. It's probably going to be spoilers, I would imagine. So do we hold on to it until later?
I mean, the lore basically was we meet Henry Emily, who is William Afton's business partner, who also worked on the animatronics, who is Charlotte's father. So it's all tied into this. There's much more lore. There's just a lot of time missing between like the first and the first part. You go through all the 80s and like all of William Afton like snatching up these kids. There's a lot of it. Let's see if I can sum it up really quickly. So 1970 is when it really starts. That's when Fazbear Entertainment existed. And this was prior to Afton and Emily's being involved in the franchise. It was a carnival act. It featured mascots that are very different from the animatronics. So that's where we really start with it. And then,
but so in short, because we don't want to speak too much because it's probably going to be spoilers, there is a huge world that they're trying to encapsulate so far into 2 films, and it's muddled, and I'm sure as they build, everything will make sense, and it will be something you have to go back and forward through and go, oh, this makes sense here, and da 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 da. hopefully they keep the same creative team and they track all of this to make it, because they're kind of trying to do like a mini MCU moment where we have a Fazbear universe, I guess, when it spreads out, because we can go to prequels, we can go to movies in between the first and second movie, we can go to sequels. There's a lot of air and there's adjacent stories. It's a lot, and that's my main problem with this movie, is that the beginning felt a little bit labored, but the end, there's so much happening that's just like, okay, hold on, oh, right, okay, this is happening, and then it's like, we're done.
Which is surprising because Scott Cawthon, however you pronounce it, he is one of the creators of this universe. He wrote the books, I think. I don't think he wrote the games. So you would think, oh no, he did the games. Okay, so he is best known for developing the 2014 survival horror games Five Nights at Freddy's and expanded into books and all that. So I think what he wants to do, and it's just a guess, he's trying to take back what this has turned into and get back to the original story that he created. So it's
very hard to do that when you have a studio.
Right, and it's also very hard to do when you already started something and now you're just trying to throw all the lore into it. If you're going to get the lore going, you probably should have started in the first movie and then built.
But there's also no guarantee that a video game movie is going to spawn a successful sequel / franchise. It's a really hard boat to be in, but I think you have to be able to pivot and make decisions that, are we going to go and honor the games, which, as we said, they were trying to do a little bit more in this one, or is it going to be a separate thing informed by that intellectual property, and maybe alienate and upset the game people a little bit, but it's also winning a different fan base?
I think there was no way this wasn't going to be successful, given how popular Five Nights at Freddy is, and the money you're getting is from a younger audience, which
will hopefully grow with the movies and incorporate, and being child-based, it's something that kids can discover with time.
I get that a lot of I get that there is an older audience that likes this and that is into the games. I mean, think about it, 2014, 10 years, almost 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep. So almost 12 years ago, they were kids when they started. They're adults now.
Yeah.
The like OG fans of this. So you have a wide base to try to satisfy the younger audience and the older audience who is more familiar with the lore than maybe the younger kids.
And will be more invested in the lore. Unless, kids do fixate on things. And I think that's part of what made this so popular in its initial run as well, that it was accessible. We've talked about accessible horror a lot, but it was horror that kids were able to get into, and they have, you've got a little horror themed who they absorb. And think about when you started watching it, you seek out more because you're like, oh, this is doing something to my endorphins. I want more. I want to know more. It's like the Blair Witch phenomenon. When that happened, they want to build, there is whole worlds and universes built out. How do you then re-streamline that to a movie franchise? But look, it, like the first movie, hasn't had great reviews, but an amazing response at the box office, especially for the modern day box office. Let's be real.
I didn't know that the first movie didn't get great reviews. I thought it did. I thought it was pretty.
People are snobby. People really didn't seem to like this one though. Well,
this one I can understand why they didn't like. It was pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
Like, you want to just get into our ratings and we can get into
I'm just gonna go budget. So from the budget of estimated between 36 to 51 million, it's already made 188.1 million.
Sounds about right.
That's a success. In the modern day, that's a success. Post-COVID, all that kind of stuff, that's a success. It's been great. It's been greenlit for part 3. be real. It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's hopefully quicker. I think that's the problem. The time between these things, you can't wait 18 months. It's got to pretty much go green lit shoot. And you can't necessarily do that when you have actors that have other contracts, especially someone that is already in another franchise that might be appearing in another movie from that franchise. Josh Hutcherson, for those of us that don't know, is Peter Malark in the Hunger Games, and Peter and Katniss will be making a little bit of a cameo in the new Hunger Games prequel, which I'm so excited to see that being brought to screens, because that was a good book, that last one.
I haven't finished it yet, so
oh my god, get to the end of it. Shut up. That's all I'm saying.
God, I'm reading so many things at once.
But how about you give us your rating on how many demonic marionette puppets out of 5 are you going to give Five Nights at Freddy's 2?
I'm going to give it 2.5 because it really was sloppy. It was all over the place. And granted, I thrive on chaos and disorganization. Even I couldn't really stick with it too much. If I did not have my apprentice with me, I'd be pretty confused by it. Thankfully, I have a translator next to me and an interpreter, so I will always be up to date on the Fazbear info. There was a lot of unnecessary scenes in this that we really didn't need. It didn't move the plot forward. It was fluff. It could have done without. I like Abby. I like Mike. I like Vanessa. I do like those characters a lot. I care about them. I want to see them survive and do well. And I really like the animatronics. I think they're fun. I think
it's an interesting prospect that I think maybe deserves a little bit more focus. Of course, the biggest thing for, especially from a marketing point of view, are these animatronic characters, right? They are what's going to sell T-shirts and merch and toys and collectibles and da. But you need to be able to have a structure that is supportive enough for that to carry on to the next movie and the next movie and the next movie. And we know that there are more animatronics, there are more creatures, there are more things that will be revealed as we go along. You need to have that universe set in stone and supported by a fan base that is ready to go. I don't think it's done damage to anything, but I just think hopefully before they get to the next installment of this franchise, that they really have a clear path of what the story is they want to tell. Because if they do it successfully, there is a road for another movie and a spin-off and a TV series and a prequel. And there is room for this to be a bigger franchise, but you've got to do the groundwork and make it good.
There is a lot of lore that they can work with. And
I can explore it.
I'm really ready to hear about the Afton family, because that's what's the interesting part of this story. I mean, granted, Abby and Mike's relationship is interesting, but the super interesting thing is the Afton family. You want to know what drove them crazy? What's going on with that?
If they do this well, they don't need those actors. They can spin off and get new people, new blood, people that aren't as expensive, because at the end of the day, it's going to be bottom line cash. The more expensive people get, because they're more popular the movies are, they've got to pay them more. It would be good business for them to streamline this. I'm going to give it a 3. I didn't hate it, but I think that there's definite room for slimming down of the plot and giving us a clear narrative about who we should be really focusing on, because Mike was the red herring. Obviously, we were supposed to think Mike was our leading man, but it was really about Abby. But we don't spend enough time solely with Abby for her to be the protagonist of the whole story. And I don't think as a child she can carry that whole story, which is why you need these adult characters. And if it's going to be Vanessa, then we need to spend more time with Vanessa, because she was superfluous to the first movie. We tried to give her more purpose here, but then it kind of wasn't in service of Mike, who's there because of Abby. And it's just like, okay, well then, do you need to kill someone? What do you need to do to make it work? Because I would be interested. I'm interested. I will see a third movie. I will see it. I just need it to be clearer.
It
And
wasn't.
hopefully not another 2 years until it comes out, because Abby's going to be real old.
It wasn't bad enough where I'm not gonna go see the. I'm gonna go see the third one regardless because The Apprentice, but it wasn't like Conjuring level bad where I'm really annoyed by these like continued movies. I will go see this one, and I'm hoping we dive a little deeper into the Afton family and get to know them, get to understand them.
If we've learned anything from franchise horror, there is always room to go back and discover.
Yep.
Whether it be a franchise that is 2 installments long, or one that we are definitely going to have to discuss quite soon, because there is a 7th film on the horizon in the new year. Smells like space. Can you believe, on the time of recording, Katie McCarthy, it's the 29th anniversary of Scream.
I'm so old.
I know. I was like, I was a child and saw that movie. But this is what can happen when you invest in look, and questionable. If you've got a core concept that is great and that still inspires people to watch and seek out horror, you can have a 7+ movie franchise that people still care about. It's doable. And of course, we will be tackling that bunny when we get there. But until then, we're going to put our animatronics away and rest. And rest. We'll have some more good, scary stuff coming at you soon. But until next time, bye-bye. Bye. That's my best animatronic voice. I don't know. Stay away from Ghost-matronics. That's good. I like it.
That was very good. Right now.
Very good stuff. Bye.